You got here just in the nick of time. What does that make us? Big damn heroes, sir. Ain't we just?
No. I am your father.
You little, I'll teach you to laugh at something that's funny.
Hello and welcome to Shoot the Breeze. I'm Marcus E. Acko, and I have watched Thor Ragnarok.
I am Laura Sampson, and I have also watched Thor Ragnarok.
My name is Jacob Acko, and I have watched Thor Ragnarok.
Jacob Acko. That surname sounds a bit familiar. Will you tell me your relationship with my lovely co-host here?
So basically, as you said, my name is very familiar because my dad, Marcus, is basically my dad.
And
yeah.
do you love films as much as your dad does?
Of course.
So this is a special episode, mainly for the podcast. It's not being broadcast over Resonance 104.4 FM, which has been our home for the last 12 weeks. Thank you, guys. You guys have been fantastic. But as we finish the first season, although we have the Christmas episode coming up, we figured we might as well give our podcast listeners a nice little special that we are doing. So it'll be a shorter episode, and we talk about one film, and maybe discuss some trailers later on. But we'll talk about them when we come to it, and which is why we have our nice little special guest who's going to be who's going to be having his own show pretty soon, right? You're going to be having your own show.
Well, yes, obviously.
Obviously.
Well, I didn't mean to say obviously because I just say it all the time apparently.
No, that's fine. It's obvious the way you talk as much as your dad does about any subject. So absolutely, you should have your own show, which is going to be What Jacob Watched. But we're gonna,
I know.
Yeah, we'll introduce that maybe at the end of December. I might talk about it in the Christmas episode.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, so today's episode, all three of us have already seen Thor Ragnarok. So we're going to talk about Thor Ragnarok. And this is a spoilerific episode because we will talk the story, we'll talk story plot, we'll talk story points, we'll talk characters, deaths, and
sometimes, and if there's spoilers, you should pause the episode and go to watch Thor Ragnarok as soon as you can, and basically watch it. Come back, unpause it, and just listen to our podcast.
That's very responsible, yes, absolutely. Otherwise, people would be like, nope, I don't want to listen to it. I want to go watch Thor, and they'll come back. So, yes, Pause the episode, go watch Thor Ragnarok, and then come back and you can listen to us talk about it.
Yes.
So, the story of Thor Ragnarok, it's the third in the Thor trilogy. There was Thor Dark World, and then now Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
We catch up with Thor after the events of Avengers Civil War. Thor has been going around different planets trying to rescue them.
Basically stop the 9 realms to be unlocked.
Well, not being destroyed.
Yes.
Exactly. So he's been going around, and we see him in one precarious situation where a character has trapped him, and he frees himself, and he goes back to Asgard, and he finds Asgard in a state of laissez-faire, if you will, where Odin, who is not Odin, as we know what's happened to Odin.
Loki.
It's actually Loki pretending to be Odin.
Yes.
And he's there watching a play of himself, which is this we won't spoil.
Like
just for you to go watch
This was not my favourite.
That was not your favourite. Okay, well, we'll come to bits that you didn't like about the film, and we'll come back to that bit. So, Thor comes back. Thor's
really confused because he doesn't. So basically, after Odin is Odin.
Well, he knows that it's not Odin because when he comes in, he knows straight away. He suspects, and so he busts Loki he confronts Loki and busts him for not being Odin.
And then when he actually finds out that it actually is Loki, he's like, "Where's Odin?" Because he doesn't know where Odin is, because he hasn't been in Odin for about, I don't know.
He hasn't been in Asgard.
Yes.
Asgard is the place. Odin is his dad. Yes.
Yes, basically. So he
Yes.
hasn't been there for about, I think it's 2 years. Because
No. It's not 2 years.
2 years, 1 year.
Okay. So what then happens is that Thor drags Loki back to Earth or Midgard to find Odin. But the place that Loki had dropped Odin was a retirement home called Shady Acres, which has now been destroyed.
Yes.
Now, when they land, they get captured by Doctor Strange.
No, Loki does.
Loki gets captured by Doctor Strange. You're correct. Doctor Strange captures Loki, but then he invites Thor into his house, where they discuss what's happening, and Thor explains that they're looking for Odin, and he tells him Odin is in Norway.
Yeah, Norway.
Yes.
And then Thor needs Loki back, and then this is the funny part that I like. And basically, this is
You
one
like this
of the
next
parts.
bit?
Well, basically, then Doctor
Oh, I know the
Strange
bits,
makes
okay.
a portal, and Loki comes down, and then falls onto the floor, and he comes up and says, "I've been falling for 30 minutes."
Yeah, that's true.
And every time I hear that, I just start laughing immediately.
Yeah. So they transport Thor and Loki to Norway, where they see Odin, but Odin says he's dying, and so he warns Thor and Loki that something worse is coming once he dies. So Odin then dies. He drifts into the wind and almost
Into Odin's sleep.
into Odin's sleep. Okay, and then almost immediately
That is death.
that's death. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
technically.
Yeah, or the big farm where.
Farm? What do you mean?
You know, the big farm where Spike and Lizzie, our cats, are currently staying.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's where Odin went to go sleep. So, yes. Anyway, and almost immediately...
Hela.
Hela, yes.
Yeah, Hela, the goddess of death.
Who's also...
A part of a family member of Thor.
Yeah.
And Thor doesn't know this because Odin doesn't want to tell him that's happened.
Yes.
And basically...
Okay, so basically, Hela shows up, says that he's Odin's firstborn, is his daughter, and she's now taking over Asgard. The three of them fight.
And basically, then Hela catches... Thor throws his hammer.
Oh, yes,
and you don't expect...
Mjolnir, yes.
And you don't expect Mjolnir to take out Hela exactly, because instead of Mjolnir getting one hit, like, anywhere, Hela, like, almost immediately catches it and then breaks it like a shard of glass.
Yes,
basically.
exactly. And then they fight. Loki calls for Heimdall to open the portal. It's not Heimdall, it's someone else, someone called Scourge, who's looking after the portal. It opens up, and Loki, Thor, and Hela are fighting on the pathway to Asgard. But
and then Hela pushes
Loki out first.
Yeah, and then Hela again pushes Thor out.
Yes.
And then
Hela goes up to Asgard.
Yeah.
Yes, so Hela goes to Asgard, and as soon as she arrives in Asgard, two of the three
warriors get taken out immediately.
Yep, they get taken out. They get taken out straight at the gate, except Scourge. Scourge immediately says he's not part of the Warriors.
He's
3,
a
but
janitor.
He says he's a janitor, so he gets spared. Meanwhile, so Hela goes into Asgard, and she pretty much destroys. She just annihilates all the soldiers.
Scourge becomes then her executioner, right?
Executioner, yes.
Yeah,
and then the third member of the Warrior 3 gets killed. Yes. Anyway, so meanwhile, Thor lands on
this planet called Sakaar.
Sakaar, yes.
Like it's a trash planet where.
Okay, fair enough. No, he lands in a trash area of the planet.
And
yes.
then these, like a ship lands, and then these wild people just come out the ship.
No, they don't come out the ship.
Are you a fighter or are you food? And then I didn't really hear what Thor said, but he said something that wasn't an option. And then the first one to say something says, like immediately, that he's food.
Yes. So they try to fight Thor. Thor beats them up, but then one of them has a net that catches Thor, so Thor can't escape. But then another ship lands.
Yeah, and then another group, just one person, annihilates all the people that was trying to get Thor.
And this person was
a Valkyrie. And basically first...
One second.
Yeah.
Played by Tessa Thompson. She's
She is quite an impressive Valkyrie.
Yeah,
she's not how I would usually have imagined Valkyries. I read quite a lot of sort of mythological books where Valkyries get described.
Yeah.
And they never get described as well as she looked.
She's absolutely fantastic in it. I mean, she's a fantastic actress. She was very strong. She's excellent in the role. But yeah, anyway, so she then captures Thor.
Yeah, but first she starts drinking this bottle. I don't care. I don't know what it is. And then immediately she starts walking. And you can see her going to the side, and then she just falls off.
Yes, she falls off the planet. That was funny. Yes,
not the planet, but the ship.
Off the ramp of the ship. She falls down. So the scavengers are thinking that she's just a waste kind of person. But then she pulls out some guns and she blasts all of them away.
No, actually no, because she has bracelets that when she taps them together, apparently the ship.
Not apparently. That's what happens.
Well, I think it was the wings, but the wings turn into guns.
No, they're the guns. The
guns turn control of her arms, and then she just she annihilates them.
Yes, she
does.
Just
with no warning.
Yes, she does. Well, she did give them warning, but because she says, "I can go through you," I can, whatever. And
I'm going to go through you, even though you don't want to go through me.
Exactly.
Yes.
So she takes Thor, gets him in the ship, and she flies back to Sakaar, back to the Grand Master, who
he's the brother of who's known as the Collector.
Yeah, he's known. He's the brother of the Collector. They're both celestial beings. The Collector, those of you who've watched Guardians of the Galaxy would have seen him played by Benicio del Toro. Benicio del Toro. Del Toro. Thank you. But the Grandmaster is played wonderfully by Jeff Goldblum. Recount on actors who play different characters. Obviously, Thor's played by Chris Hemsworth. Loki's played by Tom Hiddleston. Odin was played by Anthony Hopkins.
Surprisingly, Thor's actor looks like Thor.
Funnily enough, okay, so the bit that Jacob...
the head part.
Hold on. The bit that Jacob is referring is at the beginning when Thor comes back to Asgard and sees Loki, who's pretending to be Odin, is relaxing and watching a play where they're recreating the supposed death of Loki in part 2 in Thor Dark World.
Yeah, Thor Dark World.
Now, this is a funny bit. This is the bit that you said you didn't like. Is that, Laura? You said you didn't like this bit?
Well...
Okay, so we'll pause on the story for a bit just to come back to that bit. Now, the reason why I like that bit is because you have 3 cameos in that dramatic piece.
The reason I like that act because this child that's Colin Blue.
Yes.
Yeah, he just walks up onto a stone where he's supposed to go, and he's like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Well, yes. So the boy is just randomly. He's part of the play, but the reason why I like that particular scene is
who are these cameos?
The cameos, the person who plays Loki in that particular theatrical presentation is Matt Damon. Yes, the person who plays Thor is a Hemsworth. He's the older Hemsworth brother.
Yes. That's why they look so alike.
Exactly. And the person who plays Thor is Sam Neill. So you have Sam Neill, Hemsworth, and
I've got to watch this movie again.
Matt Damon, yeah.
Clearly.
So it's a fantastic just appearance of that. Anyway, so let's resume where we were. So so Valkyrie has taken Thor back to the Grandmaster, which is Jeff Goldblum, and it turns out that the Grandmaster, in order to placate the people instead of giving them good conditions to live in, he basically organizes gladiatorial matches for them to be entertained.
Against when Thor...
Okay, we'll tell the story properly, Karen.
Sorry.
No.
Okay,
No.
Okay, so Thor gets thrown into the gladiator pit.
Yes.
And then the Grandmaster summons the opponent, which is known as.
Not yet. Backtrack a bit.
Sorry.
Because we find out something at this point. So when Grandmaster tells Thor that he's going to be putting him in the gladiator pit, we see what has happened to Loki. It turns out that Loki had, when he got knocked out of the...
got favor of the
yes.
Grandmaster.
So he arrived in Sakaar apparently 3 weeks earlier, because he went the time he falls through the portal. Yeah.
And he managed to talk his way
Yeah.
into the group who aren't actually gladiators.
Exactly, because
But
he's a smooth little thing. Yeah.
But he knows that Thor is there, but he has not done anything about it because that's just how Loki
Exactly.
is.
So he's now one of the right-hand men of the Grandmaster, and he's sitting in the Grandmaster's box.
And he pretends he does not know.
Exactly.
Thor,
Now, just before the gladiatorial battle, Thor gets thrown in a circular pit where other gladiators hang out, which is where we meet
Korg.
Korg,
And his spider-like friend,
played by the director of the movie, Taika Waititi, in such blistering form. So, after some funny bit that happens in the pit with Korg and Thor, Thor gets sent. This is the fun bit. Thor gets dragged off, and his hair is cut by obviously Stan Lee. In his numerous Stan Lee.
Apparently, he's Stan Lee with a metal robotic arm.
Well, he's not apparently Stan Lee. He is Stan Lee because he makes a cameo appearance in every Marvel movie and TV show and whatnot. So the theory is that he is sort of a spy for a group of people called the Watchers. And they basically watch over. They don't do anything. They don't intercede in any wars or battles or anything like that. But they're constantly watching.
And by the way, in one of this isn't part of the movie, but I just wanted to say, in one of the episodes of Bat in the Sun, there is
Bat in the Sun. That's a YouTube channel. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. He's in a room. He's in a room below a battle going on against Darth Maul and Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I know that. No, Bat and the Sun do amazing videos. They do like amazing versus videos where they pretend to be. They have people who are kitted out as either Joker versus, I think the most recent, the one you're talking about is
Batman versus
Darth Vader, or Spider-Man versus Darth Maul, or Deadpool versus Harley Quinn, and so on and so forth. So yeah,
and then and one of them is the Green Ranger against someone.
This is a serious digression from the story we're telling, but okay, yeah. Anyway, Karen.
Wolverine against someone else. I've forgotten his.
Probably Predator or
Predator.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So yeah, so that's Bat in the Sun. So go check them out. They're great. Anyway, back to the story. So Thor has his hair cut by Stan Lee, and then he gets thrown into the pit where he's supposed to be fighting this huge challenger that has been destroying loads of other gladiators, like Doug from the it's just a joke in the movie. You need to watch it. Yeah. Anyway, so and then that turns out to be Hulk. And then
Thor, this is another funny part for me and my dad, Marcus. So basically,
that's me, yeah.
Marcus.
Thor, he's shouting yes, and when I hear it, I'm like, why is he shouting yes? And then after that, I know that my dad's laughing because of a certain reason, and then he turns around to the Grandmaster outside a window, and he was trying to make the Grandmaster hear what he's saying. And by the way, he's saying he's a friend from work, the Avengers.
Yes. So so Thor's happy that it's Hulk that he has to fight, because at the end of the day they're friends from work.
Yes, obviously.
But Hulk is in a stage where he's like, no, he enjoys battling, and he sees Thor and he doesn't care, so he starts fighting Thor.
So something's happened to him, hasn't it? That where he can't change back.
It's more the fact that
always angry.
He
doesn't
doesn't change until a certain reason.
It's the fact that what caused because he landed in Sakaar. He got sucked into Sakaar when at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron. Yes, thank you. Not Civil War. I said Civil War earlier, but you're right. It's Avengers Age of Ultron. At the end of that film, Hulk, when he's in Hulk mode, is in a
in
Quinjet.
a Quinjet,
Yeah.
and he gets sent into space.
Well, he flies off into space because he doesn't want to come back and join the Avengers anymore because because they keep controlling him, because that was the same film
keep
where
on telling him what to do.
exactly. So he flies off in the Quinjet, goes into space, and nobody finds him. But what happens is he gets sucked into a vortex, which then pulls him through to Sakaar. He lands in Sakaar, and because Hulk is basically he enjoys fighting, he crash lands in Sakaar, and because he likes fighting, he likes destroying things. He basically keeps himself in control and just pushes Banner down. So Banner just can't come back and seize control of their body anymore, which is the reason why he's been like that for 2 years as the Hulk. And the fact that he just likes fighting. That's what Hulk likes. He likes to destroy
By the way, Age of Ultron it was set 2 years after Age of Ultron.
Yeah, as in now, as in Thor Ragnarok is 2 years after Age of Ultron.
Yes.
Anyway, so they fight. Thor starts to get a new power that he's never had before because he's the god of thunder, but he's never really controlled thunder before because he always controls it through Mjolnir.
Yes,
the hammer.
and basically the hammer Mjolnir was to control his power.
Yes.
And without Mjolnir, now his power, when he gets beaten up brutally, his power starts to come to him.
Yes.
And then he starts beating up the other person.
He starts beating up Hulk because you see him with his power. He's literally lightning, and he's surrounded by lightning, and he can control lightning. Yeah, and his punches are extra hard.
This is one of my favorite bits about the movie, that Thor's always so far been this kind of figure of fun. He is a god, but he's only a god because of his hammer.
Yep.
And that whole reveal that it's the hammer that keeps his power in check,
yes,
is just made me really happy.
And
throughout the whole movie, I was like, "Oh yeah, go Thor!" And usually I'm a bit like, "Oh, can we have Loki again?" Or
absolutely.
And the part that I liked about that is because in the other Thor movies, like Thor in the Thor Dark World, thank you. And he doesn't know that he has that power, and then he releases it in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, exactly.
That is very cool. And the thing that that I feel kind about is he reaches his true potential and unlocks his secret power.
Absolutely. And he's just about to...
He's still a big joker
That's
as well.
true, absolutely.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And he's just about to knock out Hulk, or you think he's about to knock out Hulk, when the Grandmaster shocks him because he's got a little controlling device in his neck, which is what incapacitates him, and then Hulk pounds him into the ground, and then the fight's over. Then he wakes up and he sees that he and Hulk have been put in sort of like the winner's suite, if you will. They've got jacuzzi and they're sharing the winner's lounge, if you will. And that's where they talk. He talks to Hulk and explains what he wants to do, which is go back to Asgard and fight Hela, but he wants to set up a team to do that. But Hulk says he doesn't want to follow Thor.
Yeah,
he tells
Thor says, "How did you get here?"
Yeah.
And then he landed in the Quinjet onto Sakaar.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he then shows him where the Quinjet is. It's like in the middle of the city. So that's great. But now he needs to get out to get to the place. So he tricks Valkyrie to come into the room. He gets close to Valkyrie. He steals the chip, the controller for the chip in his neck. So he takes the chip out. Yeah. A very funny moment where how he breaks out of the room. Do you remember how he does that?
Yeah, so basically Hulk passes him this bouncy ball, and then throws it at the glass, expecting it to break at once, and then instead of breaking, it deflects and then just bounces onto his face, and then Thor, it looks like he gets knocked out, but he doesn't. So like he falls onto the floor because obviously the ball just hit him in the face.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then he gets up and he just makes a quip, and then he runs out the window. And he
smashes the window where the crack was, and then he starts to slide down. He doesn't slide down all the way. He just slides down. He jumps onto another building, slides down there, and then does the same thing.
Absolutely. And if there's one thing I can say about this, from this movie in particular, and you've known it, I've known it from different other movies, seeing him in it, but Chris Hemsworth is an amazing physical performer.
How do you know that?
He's from the movies I've seen him in. As in, you've seen him in the Thor movies, in the Avengers movie.
Oh
he was in the Ghostbusters reboot.
Really?
Yes, he's in the Ghostbusters reboot. the ones with Melissa McCarthy, where they all have the female Ghostbusters. You watched that one, right?
Oh yes, I did. Yes,
yeah,
I did.
you remember their secretary, the dumb secretary that they have, the guy that comes in and he's wearing glasses, but he doesn't have any glasses in the glass frames.
Yeah.
And anyway, so he escapes. He gets to the Quinjet, and he finds the Quinjet in there. Hulk chases after him, gets to the Quinjet, and he manages to play Black Widow, you say Scarlett Johansson, a video that she was doing in Avengers Ultron, where she was trying to calm him down by saying some of the words. Hulk sees this, and that kind of triggers Banner to come back to the surface. So now Banner and Thor are trying to get off the planet. That's when Valkyrie catches up with them, and Valkyrie says she's going to help them. So they go out, they break out the other gladiators, including, what's the guy's name again?
He breaks out
Korg. Yes.
And Korg's spider-like friend,
Yes.
and I think he is actually a spider.
I think it's more of a flea or a bug.
Flea.
But yeah, anyway. So Loki then catches up with them. Well, actually, I think Valkyrie had kidnapped Loki. But then they leave Loki, but then Loki and Korg jump on a ship together to escape because they fly out of...
No, basically, Korg finds Loki Okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, Korg finds Loki on the floor getting zapped. First he finds this thingy-majiggy, and then he presses the button on it, and then a taser that Thor had, that Loki has as well, stopped making him tasered, and he said, and Loki in his lifetime, he never said this, but he said thank you.
Exactly. Anyway, so he then gets on a ship with Korg. Banner, Thor, and Valkyrie get on their own ship. They steal a ship from the Grandmaster, which is a brilliant scene. And then they fly through this portal called the Devil's Anus.
Yeah, the Devil's Anus, which made me laugh because anus I knew meant, your private.
What?
It did.
And can you imagine what the devil's one's like?
Oh, okay. Anyway, so they fly through, they get to Asgard, and they find that Heimdall, Idris Elba, has been protecting the remaining Asgardians that are there in the mountain, and they're just about to get killed by Hela and Scourge.
By the way, if you don't know who Hela is, she's the goddess that broke Thor's hammer like a shard of glass.
And the eldest child of Odin.
Played by Kate Blanchett in fantastic fashion as well. Kate Blanchett, she can do no wrong. Anyway.
She does her low voice so well. Have you seen the Lord of the Rings movies? You're probably a bit too young to have seen them.
He hasn't seen those ones, no.
She played supernatural characters really well.
She does it very well, and she has
in the last 20 years. She has,
and she has a sense of humor as well with some of the things, some of the throwaway lines that she does. Throwaway lines are basically when you say a joke, but you say it so casually that it's not like you place any emphasis on it.
Cool.
So it's
and then people only realize how good it was like a bit later.
Exactly.
Cool.
Anyway, so Thor, Valkyrie, and Banner arrive back at Asgard, ready to... Through the Devil's Anus. You just wanted to go back and say Devil's Anus, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
So they get back and they get in battle.
We find out that Hela used the Eternal Flame to reborn a
massive wolf,
Yeah, a massive wolf.
And loads of soldiers.
And the many soldiers that got killed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a massive battle that occurs between Heimdall and some of the Asgardians against some of the soldiers, but then Valkyrie gets a gun on the ship and she manages to wipe out quite a bit of the soldiers. Banner turns into Hulk to fight this massive wolf.
The massive wolf that Hela used to have.
Exactly.
Then he died and then he got resurrected by Hela.
Exactly.
With the Eternal Flame.
Exactly. So, and then that's when Thor and Thor and Hela then get in battle. So they
with Thor's true percent. Wait, what?
What's the word you're trying to say?
Potential.
Well, okay,
Full potential.
Yeah. So.
And then, but before that, Thor gets his eye apparently ripped out by
Yes.
Hela?
Not apparently, because it actually does happen. So, yeah. When you say apparently, that means it might not necessarily have happened. But it did happen because so she rips his eye out. Anyway, so Thor realizes that Hela gets her power from Asgard, and so she's connected to Asgard. She's connected to the planet, so she's getting her power from the planet. So he realizes that the only way to destroy Hela is to destroy Asgard. Now, the flashback to the very beginning of the film.
Yeah, there's this really devil-like person
Called Satur.
Yeah, Satur.
Yeah.
And basically, he promises Thor that he's gonna destroy Asgard completely.
Yeah, but hence the reason why the name Ragnarok. Ragnarok basically means the death of Asgard or something like that.
Yes.
And
Or the end of the world.
the end of the world.
And well, actually, we find out that Asgard isn't a place; it's a people.
Well, Odin says that Asgard isn't a place. Asgard is the people. So basically,
it's the people.
Asgard can be anywhere as long as the people are there.
Are lives.
And so this Asgard can be destroyed.
Exactly. So that's why.
But the people, if all the people literally get wiped out by another person, Asgard is no more, basically.
Exactly. So Thor and Loki get the idea because Loki and Korg come back to help Thor. So Thor and Loki get the idea. Loki goes into the basement or the vault in Asgard and gets the horns or the crown by Satur, which is how Satur captured Thor in the beginning. 1 second. Thor captured Satur in the beginning and by cutting off his. Yeah, in the beginning when Thor he defeated him. Satur kidnaps Thor or captures Thor, which is what happened at the beginning.
Yeah, and then Thor literally smacks his head off.
Yeah, he smacks the crown off of his head and takes the crown and puts it in the vault.
Yes.
Now, if you put the crown back on Satur's body,
no, actually into the eternal flame.
Okay, into the eternal flame, he'll get reborn. So that's what Loki does, because when Satur is in Asgard, that's going to destroy Asgard.
Of course.
So that's how they do it. So once that happens, it is a brilliant scene right at the very end. Again, thing about Marvel.
Hela actually gets killed eventually.
But just before Hela gets killed, Hulk jumps out and starts attacking Satur, and everyone's like, "No!" Yeah. So he stops and he's like, "Okay, my bad," and he comes back, and then Satur destroys Asgard. Scourge gets a final bit of redemption at the end because he tries to sneak onto the ship, but sees that people are getting killed by the Hela's soldiers.
And then he gets out his
machine guns.
Dual machine guns, Dis and Troy, which when they fight together, apparently they make Destroy.
Exactly.
Yes.
But he gets killed. But the rest, Heimdall.
How does he get killed though?
By Hela. Hela kills him. She has one of her spikes stab him, so he dies.
Oh yeah. He dies.
But Heimdall, Loki, Korg, Banner, Thor, and Valkyrie, and all the people get onto the ship and they fly off into space, and that's basically now Asgard in this spaceship, and they're flying around.
Yeah, and basically, at the end you can see them in their ship, which is apparently small, and then Thanos' ship, which is 10 times larger than their ship, just comes in and then it just ends.
Exactly. So that's actually the end of credits scene in Thor Ragnarok, where basically you see Thanos' ship sort of overshadow the ship that they're flying in from Asgard, and that's Thor Ragnarok. It's an amazing film. I definitely recommend everyone goes to see it.
I didn't realize actually how completely connected to the Marvel universe of films.
Oh yeah, Marvel are doing a great job just connecting all their stuff together.
I've been following the Thor movies,
but
not the Avengers ones.
So that was Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
Thor Ragnarok. I love you, Thor Ragnarok.
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to watch that again before the year is out. Before the year is out. Yes. So So what else should we talk about? What in fact,
the trailers.
You want to talk about trailers?
Yeah.
But see, this is the thing. I don't like watching. I watch trailers, but not for certain movies.
Well, I don't care. If you haven't seen,
I'm sorry.
if you haven't seen the trailers for these movies, the Black Panther movie,
I have seen that one.
The Infinity War movies,
I haven't seen that one.
something else. You should go and watch it now. I'm not going to be kind. You should watch it right now.
So you think we should watch the Infinity Wars trailer right now, even though we don't
Black
want to
Panther,
spoil
yes,
it?
and Black
We've seen
Panther.
Black Panther.
We've already seen Black Panther.
We
We talked
love
about
No,
the
I
Black Panther.
haven't.
You haven't seen the Black Panther trailer?
No.
All right, fine.
Right.
So you want to watch the Black Panther trailer? You want to watch
Yes.
the Infinity Wars trailer? And let me guess, you want to watch the Last Jedi trailer?
Of course.
Okay, fair enough. Fine. Let us queue up Black Panther trailer, Infinity Wars trailer, and Star Wars The Last Jedi trailer.
I have seen gods fly. I've seen men build weapons that I couldn't even imagine. I've seen aliens drop from the sky.
Yeah.
But I have never seen anything like this. How much more are you hiding?
Hold up. Let's go.
We are home. My son, it is your time.
Show me my respect and bow down.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be. Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
The revolution will not be televised. Show me my respect and bow down. We own ya. We own ya. We only getting started now. Cause we own ya. Everybody think they know me now. Cause we own ya. You and I'm my homie. Cause we own ya.
I waited my entire life for this. The world's gonna start over. I'ma burn it all.
What happens now determines what happens to the rest of the world.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. Wakanda forever! The revolution will not be televised. Let's have some fun. The revolution will be live.
So Black Panther.
All right. Jacob, what did you think?
I think it was good at the end because it marked out the name basically.
So the only bit of the trailer you liked was the fact that the end happened. And it just said, Black Panther. You've been watching Black Panther trailer. That's the only bit of the trailer you liked.
Yeah. Well, not just that part when like Black Panther gets sent out of this airship, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, and I like how he survives, but
I do not freeze. And he just drops. Yeah, I like that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Black Panther. It's an amazing film. It's
Yeah.
going to be amazing.
I am actually.
Yeah.
So excited.
Chadwick Boseman, Forrest Whitaker, Angela Bassett, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o. Ugh, talent. Daniel Kaluuya is in there as well.
Who plays Black Panther though?
Chadwick Boseman.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Chadwick
whoever
Boseman.
designed those costumes,
Yep.
whenever I see that trailer, I just think, wow, to the costumes. You know, superhero outfits are pretty impressive anyway, but there's just such an amazing range of them, all different colours, and they kind of represent different stuff. That's what it seems like to me, anyway.
Well, the only suit that I didn't like is the old-fashioned Captain America suit.
Okay.
Yeah, because
So that's the only Marvel outfit you don't like.
Only because of the shield. It just messes up everything.
Okay.
If they could put up like a shield that whenever he throws it, instead of it just coming back to him, it fires vibranium bullets anywhere it goes.
Okay, so you want them to make a Captain America shield that when he throws it, it fires vibranium bullets.
Yeah, as well as killing the people in front, the bullets go through the person that's already killed, and then behind.
Alright, Laura, you get on that. You make a vibranium suit or a vibranium shield that can throw bullets at people when you hear that. That's what you want, right? Vibranium shield that flies and
I don't
throws
really
bullets.
want it in real life.
What? I thought you said that's what you wanted.
We'll have to make recommendations to the design team.
Yeah.
for the
Do you want
Captain America
that's
movie.
what I meant.
Do you want that for Christmas?
No,
Okay,
obviously.
All right. So that was the Black Panther
Trailer.
That's excellent. So fine. I guess we'll have to watch the Avengers Infinity trailer next. That's what you want to watch, right?
Yes,
Laura, have you seen this one yet?
I haven't, no. So I'm
Okay.
really looking forward to it
I'm
because I
gonna-
actually do like watching trailers.
I'm gonna break my not vow- embargo. Yes, I'm gonna break my
Embargo.
trailer embargo, and basically I'm gonna watch this trailer. I've been trying to avoid it, but I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna cleanse my memory of it so that when I go to watch the movie, I don't remember.
Guys, the reason why my dad doesn't like watching trailers anymore is because he doesn't want the trailers to spoil or make him worried about
I'm not
the
gonna be.
movie that
You're
the
right.
trailer's about.
You're spot on. I don't want to watch the trailers because if I watch a trailer, I get to see a lot of times they put a lot of good things in the trailer, and I get to see that. And then when I go to the cinema to see the movie, I miss that. I understand trailers. I understand why there's a need for trailers, but sometimes it's best to go in completely
The
blind.
reason
On which
why
note,
there's a
let's
big-
watch a trailer.
Okay, fine. Let's watch the trailer for Avengers: Infinity Wars.
Oh yeah.
There was an idea
To bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
That they never could.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face. Who the hell are you guys?
Oh, okay. Oh, you're listening to Shoot the Breeze. I'm Marcus E. Acko.
And I'm Laura Sampson, and there are two extremely excited gents over in the studio today.
Okay, so
We've just watched the Avengers Infinity War trailer for the first time. Well, the two of us for the first time, and Jacob here for the... I don't know how many times
this is the second time.
But the first time was like the features that was in there. Like, sorry to say, but when Thor meets the Guardians of the Galaxy, like right at the end, Groot is now teenager. You think he's baby, but he's teenager now.
Okay, hold on.
And like Thanos, like apparently punches one of the armor of Iron Man's chin off.
You're listening to Marcus E. Acko, and we've got Laura Sampson in the room. We've also got the most eloquent Jacob Acko in the room as well. We've also got the other Acko,
Zach Acko.
Zachary Acko. Zachary, do you want to say hi?
Hi.
All right. So we've just been watching Avengers Infinity trailer, which I had an embargo on watching because I didn't want to spoil.
Watch it.
I didn't want it. I wanted to go to the movie and watch it clean and not. But I've just watched it, and I knew what was going to happen the moment I watched it. I knew I was going to see something in it that was going to make me squeal like a 12-year-old girl at a Justin Bieber concert, and I have to.
And
admit,
it did. I
wish
we'd been rolling at the time.
He actually did.
I did. It was the end, and he says, "And who are you supposed to be?" And they cut, and you see the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm like,
obviously,
yes!
Yeah. I was so confused because I didn't hear what Thor said, but I didn't really see a good glimpse of the whole Guardians of the Galaxy. Even Living Mantis, I think it was.
I know.
So basically,
Living Mantis? Oh yes, Mantis.
Yeah, she has the power to, when she touches you and things
change your emotions. Yeah.
You actually do that emotion. So if she touched like Marcus, and she wanted you to giggle, you would giggle.
Okay, so Zachary, you saw the Avengers trailer with us. What did you think? Did you like it?
Yes.
You liked it. Good. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next trailer. We're going to move on to the final trailer, and then we'll wrap this up, okay?
And I like...
Apparently, we're not moving on to the next trailer. Go on.
I really liked how Thanos, the purple... galaxy monster,
the villain
who
of
didn't know
Infinity
who Thanos
Wars,
was, gathering up the Infinity Stones, ready to fight all the Marvel characters.
Yeah, so you see him get 2 of the Infinity Stones.
Yes.
Which there are 6. Once he gets all 6 in his Infinity Gauntlet, then
he is mega powerful.
Exactly. Anyway, so let's wrap that up. So that was Avengers Infinity War. Now we're going to look at Star Wars Last Jedi.
Which we're all going to be going to see next week.
Next week, yes.
I'm guessing. Anyway.
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power. And beyond that, something truly special.
Something inside me has always been there. But now it's awake. And I need help.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
Let the past die. Kill it. If you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be.
We are the spark that'll light the fire that'll burn the First Order down.
This is not going to go the way you think. Fulfill your destiny.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
right, so that was the trailer for Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
I've been looking forward to this for so long.
I didn't really like it because Ray at the end she said I need someone to teach me all where my place is and all this, and then Kylo Ren just sticks out his hand, and I think that Kylo Ren is trying to get Ray to be on the dark side, basically.
Well, I think that's the kind of thing that the trailer wants you to be afraid of, but it's one of those things that's a decoy.
Yeah.
You know,
like a decoy.
that's
So
going
it
to be
might be a
one of her
dream sequence or
options.
something like
It's
that,
going to be
yeah.
one of her options, but what she's going to do is the right thing.
Uh-huh.
She's got a lightsaber. It hasn't turned into a spooky color like red.
Or it could be one of those kind of things, kind of like at the end of this is Return of the Jedi, where Luke goes onto the Death Star with Darth Vader as though he's going to turn to the dark side, and then that's when the Emperor starts.
So perhaps
attacking
they're like
him.
long lost brother and sister,
Something like that, and then
like literally.
Oh no, it is gonna be that, because you saw the bit in the trailer where this is the reason why I don't want to watch trailers. I want to watch it. Okay, anyway, so you saw the bit in the trailer, right, where she's being electrocuted, right? She's obviously being electrocuted by I can't remember his name, but it's not Palpatine, Palpatine,
no.
but
Palpatine died.
Yeah,
he died.
I can't remember his name, but the bad guy, the main bad guy, the one that's in the shadows, the one that's sort of
Kylo Ren.
Not Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is the one that you see, but there is someone else that is his name escapes me. Anyway, so it's gonna be
Dark Sith.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
Something Sith.
Here's how I'm seeing it gonna happen. It's gonna be the fact that it's gonna be sort of a mirror of what happened in Return of the Jedi, where
What do you mean?
where Rey is gonna be on the ship with Kylo Ren and the evil guy. Evil guy is gonna be shocking Rey, and Kylo Ren is gonna see that, just like Darth Vader saw Emperor Palpatine shocking Luke Skywalker, and then he flips to the right side and throws Emperor Palpatine in the thing. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but Kylo Ren isn't Rey's father, because
I know he's not Rey's father, but just as Laura said, it's potential that there were
family members of some kind.
But then, if they're family members, then that means that Rey is Han Solo's kid.
Yes.
Not completely impossible.
No, cousin.
But the Force doesn't go through Han Solo; it goes through Princess Leia.
How?
So unless you say Leia had a something in between. Okay, fair enough.
It's all. I think that was a really clever trailer. There are lots of things that made you think, "Oh, I wonder what's going to happen." But actually, I still can't predict what's going to happen. I'm really looking. There are things I'm now really more looking forward to. There was like a dog made out of icicles that I really want to see again. These huge like explosions that aren't really explosions, puffs of gorgeous red smoke that I'm looking forward to. It's going to be camp. It's going to be big.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I can't wait to go see it next week. Today, I'd say thank you to our ever so vibrant, ever so loud, ever so opinionated guest, Jacob Acko. Jacob, thank you very much for joining us. Jacob, we're going to be setting up a show for Jacob to express his views on movies coming out possibly at the end of December. We'll see what happens. We'll give you more information on our Facebook page. Go on the Facebook page. It's Shoot the Breeze on Resonance 104.4 FM. Yep. Send us a message on Twitter at STB_Resonance FM. The next time you'll hear from us will be the Christmas episode. And on that Christmas episode, we have two of our highest downloaded guests. I've checked the stats. Their episodes are the highest downloaded episodes. It's 1 and 2. I'm not going to say who's who. I'll say that on the
find out
episode,
in the show.
But it's number 1 and number 2. The two guests that we have are Michael Maria from the Halloween episode and Iki El Amriti from episode, I believe, 9. Episode 9.
Yeah, but you said that you wouldn't tell.
I said I wouldn't tell who has the highest downloads yet. Oh. I said who they will be on the show on the Christmas episode, but I will tell them on the Christmas episode who has the highest downloads. We'll see.
And that can be added to their Christmas. That can be added to their Christmas quiz score.
Absolutely.
And then may the best man win.
Absolutely.
Or woman.
Thank you very much for listening. This has been Shoot the Breeze with Marcus E. Acko
and Laura Sampson.
Thank you for listening.
See you the week after next.